Hey guys, thanks for joining for an episode of Learn to Play Games. My name is Lance, and today we're going to take a look at Promenade. This is a brand new game coming to Kickstarter from Sunrise Tornado Game Studios. It is a 2 to 4 player game that takes roughly an hour to an hour and a half to play, and it is a competitive game, so each player is going to be working against the other players to accumulate the most points and be the overall winner at the end of the game. So in the game itself, each player is going to be purchasing different art cards throughout the game, which will drive the market price on those cards up, and then they're going to be trying to get those cards into museums, which will continue to push the market price of them up, and at the end of the game, the cards that the players have will be totaled up based on the current market value, and the player that has the most points will be the overall winner. So my opinions on this one, I had a good time with it. I would definitely recommend this game to players that enjoy art or art enthusiasts. This was a great family game. The designer himself is an artist, and this is the way he has chosen to express himself. The art style in this is very cool and very well done. I would definitely recommend this one for those types of players or players that enjoy like marketing or market management, those type of games. This is definitely one that does a good job with that as well. So of course, these are just my opinions. I'd love to hear you guys in the comments below, or swing by the creator's Kickstarter page and let him know what you're thinking about the game as well, or if you have any questions as well. And as always, if you enjoy these videos, if you like what I do, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel, as it helps me to continue to grow and bring these videos to you guys. If you want to get notifications anytime I release new content, also consider ringing that bell and you'll get emails notifying you anytime I bring out new stuff. So let's head to the table and I'll show you what this one's all about. The main component in Promenade are the different decks of cards the players are going to be using. There are 4 different decks the players are going to use. The main deck are the art cards, which are broken down into 5 different colors. We have red, yellow, purple, green, and blue. Each of these different colors also has its own theme, which, for example, with the red are portraits, the yellow are landscapes, the purple are abstract, green is animals, and finally the blue are seascapes. So that kind of goes along with the whole theme of the game. Then we have 3 other decks. We have the 3 gold deck, which is going to be comprised of A, B, and C cards, which will be shuffled up at the beginning of the game. And then the players can purchase these cards later on, and the cards are going to have 2 different abilities. You can count them as 3 gold, or you can use their bottom value one time and then discard them. Then we have the 5 gold deck, which will basically just be cards that are worth 5 gold, and I'll explain these more later. And then each player is going to start with 5 cards, 1s and 2 gold cards in their starting deck, which I'll show you guys. Each player is also going to have their own dashboard, which is going to keep track of the portrait values throughout the game, and is a quick reference for the players as they work with their different portraits. Then it has the breakdown of the turn, which has 3 different actions. I'm going to go through those in a little bit. The Endgame Conditions, and then a spot for the first action a player can do during their turn and the second, as well as a discard and draw pile for their different cards. Each player is also going to have 10 meeples of their color that they've chosen, and those will be used to mark their different portraits when they exhibit them in the museum or the different museums. Then we have the market rating board. This will track the value of the 5 different color paintings throughout the game, as well as the gold value itself. So as players exhibit paintings in the different museums, those paintings are going to gain different ratings that will continue to increase them throughout the game. And as the paintings work their way up in the scale, they're going to be worth more gold. So if a player has red paintings in their hand, they're going to be worth 2 gold now. And then as they work their way up through the track, they're going to be worth 3, 4, all the way up to 6 gold throughout the game. At the end of the game, the paintings are also going to each be worth a number of victory points based on where their color ends on that track. And the gold will also have a victory point value based on where it ends on the track. Finally, we have the game board itself. Around the edge of the game board is the victory point track that the players will use throughout the game to track their victory points. Then at the top of the board, we have the 5 different museums and their cost to exhibit a painting in them. And each museum has particular paintings that it's going after. For example, with our last one here, we can have either a yellow painting or a red painting in there. The black ones are wild, so you can use them for anything, as you guys are going to see later on. And then as players put their paintings in there, they're going to gain victory points listed on the side here, and then increase the market value based on the museum that they place their painting in as well. At the bottom of the board, we also have the 4 galleries where players will be able to purchase paintings to add to their hands, as well as gold cards that they can do and purchase and add to their hand as well. And as players purchase cards in these galleries, as the galleries empty, they will be replaced with higher values, so the galleries will become more expensive to purchase paintings from as well and increase the market value as the game goes on. So each player has 3 different actions they can choose from: haggle, acquire, and show. And I'm going to take you guys through each one of these actions so you can see what the player has options of. So the first one is haggle, which will allow them to spend one of their cards. So each player will start with a hand of 5 cards. So they can choose to spend a card as an action, and then they'll draw 2 cards from their draw pile. So this will give them 6 cards to work with for their second action. The second action our player can perform is an acquire. This will allow them to buy 1 card from one of the galleries in the Promenade. So each of the galleries will have a cost, which is going to be listed in these orange cubes, and then as the players go on, these cubes will be removed and new cubes with more expensive options will be added to this. So eventually throughout the game, the players will have to spend more to get cards. So let's go ahead and say, for example, our player wants to do an action and purchase one of these blue cards. So he's going to have to spend 5 points, and each one of the paintings is going to have a value. At the start of the game, each painting is only going to be worth 1 point. So we're going to have to use 5 painting cards as an action to acquire one of these. So at this point, then this would be added to that pile, and then we would move up the market value of that blue card, or the blue paintings, by 3. Then we would go on to the next action. The final type of action our player can perform is a show, which will allow them to exhibit 1 painting in a museum. And this painting would come from their hands, and they would choose one of the museums to try to exhibit it in by spending the cost, which is in the upper corner there. So let's go and say that our players have been playing for a little while, and they've worked their way with some of the paintings going up in value. And our player's hands is 2 yellow, 2 red, and a green. So let's go ahead and try for this museum here. So we're going to need to spend the 2 red, that's 8 points, and we'll spend one of those to get us up to 11, and we'll spend the green to get us up to 13. So we could even choose to go for that one. Let's do that. So then you have to exhibit one of the paintings matching the color listed there. So we have to either do a red, a green, and the black are considered wild, so you can use them for any painting. So we're going to have to use a black, as the only card left we have is a yellow. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We'll mark the top spot, and our player will go up 10 points on their victory track. From there, then we're also going to up the market value for the yellow painting by 7 points. And we will mark that painting with one of our tokens to mark it as our own. The players will continue playing round after round until one of the endgame conditions is met, which there are 3 different ones. If 12 or more paintings are exhibiting in the museum, that will trigger the end of the game. If the painting deck is completely depleted, or if 1 or more market rating tokens is at the 70 value or higher. From there, then the players will continue playing until the last player has finished their turn, and then at that point then we'll move into a scoring phase where each player will flip over their card and will receive a number of points based on the paintings that they have in hand, the museum paintings that they have bonuses for, and gold value based on the market rating. The player that has the most points at the end of the game will be the overall winner. Well, I hope you guys found this video helpful in deciding whether or not you want to back this Kickstarter. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave those in the comment section below, or swing by the Kickstarter's main page and drop them there. I'm sure they would love to hear from you and answer any questions you have as well. Like I said, I would highly recommend checking this one out if you guys are into these kind of games. I had a really good time with it and definitely would recommend checking it out. As always, thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch my videos and leave me feedback on them. I do really appreciate it, and I try to take into account everything you say to make the best possible videos. And if you want to stay up to date on all my videos, also consider subscribing and ringing that notification bell so you get updates anytime I release new content. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.